Hi, I'm Steph, and today we are reviewing Carter Faith's album and CD in particular, Cherry Valley. You can see it here. In my opinion, I think this is the best album that came out in 2025. Across any genre, whatever, this is the best one I've heard. So that's why I wanted to start my reviews off with this particular album. I am a CD collector, so I don't have any vinyls or anything like that. I just do CDs because if I start going into the vinyl world, I will have no money. So just CDs for me. And I love CDs. You can play them in the car. You can play them in a CD player, obviously. Like, I think they're great. And I love physical music, so it's really fun. This CD, I think, is so awesome. When you open it up, on the back of the lyric booklet, there's this little map of Cherry Valley, and there's a lot of interviews where Carter talks about Cherry Valley, like how everyone's asking her, like, how did you come up with the album title? Where is Cherry Valley? Things like that. And she says she was driving through a part in Tennessee and passed a sign that said Cherry Valley. She really liked it, wrote it down, and then she created her own Cherry Valley world. So this world, like that's on this map here, she made all this up in her head, and it's beautiful, and I think that's really, really cool. Like, it's just this world where the album lives, and I think that is so neat. Another really cool thing about the album booklet is in the back there's these postcards, and the first one says greetings from Cherry Valley, wish you were here, with her little deer. And then the back of the postcard, it has like her thank yous and a little note to people reading it from Carter. And then her producer also has a special thanks section there. And I just think that's so creative and fun. Yeah, really cool. Inside the lyric booklet, every page just has one photo, which I really love. I think it's just like very simple and classic. And in this picture, she's like laying down on the stage that's in the front. And in 3 days, she's releasing Cherry Valley Forever, which I'm really excited about. I have a signed CD coming in the mail, very stoked about it. So I can't wait to hear all of those tracks. She's released a couple of them, or like snippets of some of them already, but I'm excited to hear them all in full and on the CD together. So then we have the CD itself. Again, very classic. I love that it has the quotations around Cherry Valley, because on the album cover, it says Carter Faith in Cherry Valley. It's like very, it's a whole production, and I really love that she does that with this album. It deserves that kind of thing, and she did it in full, and I think it's amazing. When you lift off the CD, it again says Cherry Valley, and we have the little deer again, which I love. It's so cute. Yeah, so that's the CD all together. Here's the map again. I think the map is so fun. Like, all the places relate to things in songs or song titles, which is just really cool. There's like the 6-string chapel, which is so fun. 6-string is one of the songs, one of my personal favorites. We have Bar Star Saloon. Something else that's really cool is we have like Pearl Handle as an island and Dead Horse as an island also, and those are references to songs that are on Cherry Valley Forever, which has not come out yet. Again, that comes out in 3 days, and I'm really excited about that. So that's super cool. She definitely put a lot of thought into this, and like the thought of the physical album, which I think is super fun as someone who likes to buy CDs. It just makes the whole listening experience more exciting and really cool. So I really appreciate that she did that. So as far as the album review goes, we'll get into that now. Again, this is Cherry Valley by Carter Faith. It came out on October 3rd, 2025, so it's still a pretty new album. This album is one full story, which I think is so beautiful. I love when people do that. I just think it's really cool as a listener to just go step by step through just this one story. I think it's very cool. So that's one of my favorite parts about the album. The first track is called Cherry Valley, and I remember the first time I heard that track, I was in my car, I was going on a road trip, and I had heard, it was a Megan Moroney interview. She said that she had been listening to Cherry Valley, and I was like, I'll go check that out because I love Megan Moroney, and I'm always looking for new music to listen to. And so I queued up this album for this road trip I was going on, and I was by myself, and I just was not expecting it to be what it was because I had heard clips of Bar Star before, so I was kind of expecting it to be like a light, fun, silly album, and it is not. And that's very clear as soon as you listen to the first track, which is Cherry Valley, and it's this like really big orchestral track, and it's beautiful. Her vocals are insane. Like when I heard this track, it was very much giving me the sense of like there was nothing else that this woman should have done other than music. Like she found her calling, she is doing it, and she is doing it very well. Like she is an artist, and I think it's such a beautiful track. I thought it was a really bold way to open up an album. Usually album openers are a bit more light and they kind of like start to pull you into the album, but this track is just like bam, like here it is. She really like lays it all out there in the first track, and like it has the sound of an album closer. I personally love an album closer. I think they're just like really cool. And this opening track has the feel of an album closer. So I remember listening and I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go next, but I love it. Like this is absolutely gorgeous. And she follows it up with Sex, Drugs, and Country Music, which is a phenomenal song. Lyrically, it's so clever, and again, her vocals are just insane. And I think that having that as the second track, it really just like punches you with the artistry and like keeps you going. And I think that's so cool. So that's a really phenomenal track. I don't know how it's not a number one hit on like literally everything. Like her vocals are insane. It's a really great song. If you haven't heard it, go go listen. The third track is called Arrows, in parentheses, Die for That Man. I think that one again is just really clever. It says a lot of things that people think but they don't want to say, and I think she does it in a really beautiful way. And the guitar in that song is also very cool. Sonically really, really cool song, so I think that is a great track. The fourth track is Bar Star, which I mentioned earlier. It's like a fun, silly song. And also this part of the song is where, like I said before, it's one story. This is where she's like falling in love and like, you know, it's the beginning of a relationship with this person. And the song Arrows, it's like that Cupid's got a real steady hand. Like she got shot down by Cupid, she's falling in love. And Bar Star, I heard in an interview that one of the co-writers on Bar Star is actually the man that this is like the love interest of this album. So I just think that's another really cool, like, just a cool little tidbit that just makes this album so beautiful. Then we go into Betty, which has a great music video. I think it's so fun. She's like playing bingo with all these old ladies and they're just like having such a fun time, and it's great. But Betty is like a play on words, like Betty, I bet he's with Betty. It's really clever. Again, phenomenal music video, great song. There's no filler songs on this album. I feel like every song is put on there with intention and deserves a listen. Like it's a very good album. The next song is Grudge. I'm in the little lyric book now. There's actually no lyrics. I keep calling it the lyric book. There's not lyrics in here. It just has the photos, the title of the song, and then the writers, which I love to see who wrote songs. I think it's really interesting. She is a co-writer on every single song in this album, and there is also a solo write which we'll talk about later. I love A Solo Right. So then we go into Grudge, and that's like that's kind of the only one that's not like, I mean, there's a couple that's not like super directly part of the one story that we're following, but it's like a little side trip that's really fun. It's a great song. I love that one. If you've ever been petty in your life once, you will also like this song. But then we go to Six String, which is one of my personal favorites on the album. It's where the album really like starts to change. Like we go from like Cherry Valley, the introduction, and then we're like falling in love. We're getting a little like maybe suspicious of this person we're falling in love with, and then Six String is where it just all starts to fall apart. And she does it in such a beautiful way. Six String, like, it's the turning point of the album, and her vocals are amazing on that track. There's so much emotion in them, and it's a really, really strong track, and the lyrics are just, they're incredible. Like everything she says in that track is said with intention, and it's very beautiful. And then that goes right into If I Had Never Lost My Mind, which again is a really heavy hitting track, and it's just like two right in a row. Like it's like really breaking down this story that's happening in a very intense and beautiful way, and I just think it's absolutely phenomenally done. Yeah. Then we go into Misery Loves Company, and I think that's a really important song because it's very much like, it's, she's not just blaming this person for how things turned out. It's like, maybe it was both of us, you know, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. Like, and that's another thing in the track before, If I Had Never Lost My Mind. Like, this is not an album of just like, oh, like, you broke my heart, boo. It's very dynamic. It's very like different things coming from both sides, and it's really, really honest, and I think that's really awesome. So that's Misery Loves Company. Then we go to Drink Up Baby, which is one of my other favorite ones on the album. It's such a fun song. It's written, I think, from a place of very much just like, I know how this goes. Like, you're gonna get drunk and then you're gonna call me. Like, surprise, surprise. I don't know. I just think it's a really fun song. And like, she knows who she is in this album, and I think this song is a really big example of that. Burn My Memory is the next track. I think that one is really, really fun. Again, not sure how that's not just like on every radio station. It's a really fun song. She mentions like very specific things, like that, like, you can burn all of these things, but like you can't burn my memory. And one of the things is like General Jackson tickets. It's like a boat ride, I think, in the Nashville area, and it's just like so specific to her, like, and I just think that's really cool. The next song is Sales, which is a really great one. There was actually, she played this with Megan Moroney at one of her shows, not Megan Moroney's show, at Carter's show. Megan Moroney came out and they sang this together, and I thought that was really cool. So just fun tidbit there. But Sales is a really beautiful song. It's kind of just about how you can control your reaction to things. If things are getting tough, like, you can adjust the sails. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust the sails. That's what she says, I think, and it's a really beautiful song about just making your own decisions and taking control. And yeah. So I Sing is one of my favorites. This is her solo right on the album, which I think is so cool, especially like when you're known as a songwriter. I think it's really, really cool when you do solo written songs. I think they just hit so much more emotionally because you can just picture that person, like, start to finish crafting this song. And it's a really powerful song. I cried the first time I heard it. it's very intense. It's really, really good. I don't want to spoil anything. That's why I'm kind of being a little vague with some of these. Um, but that is a really great song. Yeah, very heavy hitting. If you can relate to it, it's perfect. Um, yeah, she used singing to get herself mentally out of certain situations that I think a lot of people go through, and people have different ways of getting through those situations. I personally went to Walgreens, and when you listen to the song, all this stuff I'm saying will make more sense. But yeah, it's a really beautiful song, and I really love that it was included on the album, and I love that this song in particular is a solo write. I think it just makes it that much more powerful, and I think that's very cool. The next song is Changed, and the song Changed and Still a Lover are the last two songs on the album. And like I said earlier, I love an album closer, and I think that the song Cherry Valley really sounds like an album closer. And so I was really wondering, like, as I'm listening to this album, I'm like, how do you wrap this up? Like, how does this come to a close? And in my opinion, there are two album closing songs on this song. And the first one is Change, and then it's Still a Lover. I think those songs are really connected, and I think they collectively close out the album together. And I don't know if that's how it was intended. Just as a listener and as a fan, that is how it feels to me. Like, this is such a powerful album. I think you need two tracks to really wrap it up. And Changed is a really beautiful song. I feel like any resentment or hate that you had towards a person, there is a point where it goes away, and it's water under the bridge. It was what it was. You know that you were in love. You know that it was real, and you are forever changed. And it puts that all out in a really beautiful way. And then we have Still a Lover, which is our last song on this version of Cherry Valley. Like I said, we have Cherry Valley Forever coming very soon. Very excited. But Still a Lover is the official album closer, and it goes with similar themes of changed, and kind of just continues, I think, that train of thought a bit. And it's like, like this person showed you things, even if it didn't turn out well, you are a different person for it. And in this particular song, she's saying how this person showed her that, like, she is still a lover. Like, maybe she's not so jaded, maybe she's not as, I'm not saying she thought she was cold, but like, she is still a lover at heart, and this person helped her realize this, and I think that is really beautiful. And it's a really beautiful way to close the album. I love it. And then we have the last picture of her laying on the stage, which I think is really cool. Yeah, I just want to go listen to it again now. I've listened to this album like so many times, but I want to listen again because it's really beautiful. Yeah, it's a phenomenal album. The merch that she does with this album is so cool. I don't have any because I have no money. But she made all these like greetings from Cherry Valley shirts and hats, like Cherry Valley Motel, like really leaned into like this little map that's in here. It's like she's making it a real place. Like, you can go to a motel there. There's postcards. She has lipstick kiss love letters. That's a lyric from one of her songs, and you can buy like postcards with that on them, and it's really, really cool. Like, she really builds a whole world for this, and I think that's so rewarding as a listener to like have all these physical ties to this beautiful piece of art. I think that's really, really cool. She like opened for Post Malone. She's going to be opening for Casey Musgraves coming up. She did do a Cherry Valley tour, and I didn't hear the album Cherry Valley until she was at like, she had a couple shows left on this tour, and I did not go. Really sad about it, but I think she's going to keep making music, and I think she's going to tour again, and I will go then. But yeah, she's absolutely phenomenal. The music is phenomenal. I am rating Cherry Valley 10 out of 10. I don't care what kind of music you like. If you like music, I think you'll like this album. It's technically a country album. I think genres are silly. Like, why are we putting art in a box? That seems odd to me. But even if you don't like country, I really think it's worth a listen. I think it's such a beautiful album. And yeah, I hope you all go listen to it, and maybe I'll do more of these album reviews. We'll see. I have a lot of CDs, but it was really important for me to do this one because I just think it's such a great album. And thank you, Carter, for the album. It's phenomenal. So I can't wait to listen to Cherry Valley forever. And that's all for now. Okay, bye.